First Alert 6 starts now.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. It is great to have you with us early on First Alert 6 streaming. I'm Erin Hartley.
I'm Cerise Cole, along with meteorologist Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. We know we've been talking a lot about how warm the weather is around here, but we don't want you to forget that it's still winter and the mornings are still very cold. Like, you still need your winter coat.
Yeah, this one stands out because this is the coldest we'll probably be for a while, and we're down in the teens and 20s. I know if it's February, you're like, what's the big deal? But it's going to get significantly warmer each and every afternoon and each and every morning, too. But you head out. We talk about the mild air. It's all about the afternoons. We're down near 20 right now. Take the heavy coat, warm hat, gloves. Kids need the same. There's not much of a breeze, but any subtle wind does drop the wind chill back even colder. And you can see a lot of numbers right around 20, but every once in a while you get an 18 Fremont, 16 in Wahoo. So the morning hours are not warm. And look at how there's 20s in the middle of the map, but a lot of teens on the outside, on the outskirts of the viewing area. So it's cold, plus you factor in the light breeze. Feels like 5 in Tacoma. There's not much wind, but any little breath of wind is going to knock those numbers even colder. So dress warmly to start the day, and then it'll be very enjoyable in the afternoon. High clouds moving in, trying to slowly. Not really going to fill up the sky all that fast, but there are some out there, and we'll see more of those probably build in later on tonight. So let me show you how this plays out. Teens and 20s to start. 9 o'clock numbers in the 20s. By noon, we're into the mid-40s, and then we'll keep on warming from there. By 3, 4, 5 o'clock, we're talking temperatures in the low 50s for a high today, 51, 52 degrees, and then gradually backing off into the evening hours as the clouds move in. So warmer than yesterday, great for February, and you'll see the clouds fill in. Overnight tonight, probably after midnight, could be a couple little spotty showers. Nothing you really need to worry about, but, you know, we forecast the weather, and that's going to be part of it, so we're telling you. With a couple little spotty showers in our northern parts of the viewing area. It shows some sleet, snow, but everything's going to be warm enough, and amounts are light. I wouldn't worry about this causing any problems. Just going to have a few little specks on the radar. To start off tomorrow, notice by 7 a.m., they're mostly east already. Clouds will decrease, and we'll warm up even more tomorrow. 56 for the high there on Thursday, 59 on Friday. Looks phenomenal. Up near 60 degrees. And we're at the point now we're like 60, whatever, big deal.
Oh, I'm not.
You're moving on too quickly.
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
Do we continue beyond Friday as well? And what about the chances for any rain in the forecast?
That's the thing. Everybody's like, when does the shoe finally drop? When do we get some winter or anything? Yeah. It's been very dry. For the entire winter season, this goes all the way back to December 1, we're an inch below average for moisture, and there's no real good signs of anything. And if it wasn't for one day in January where we got about 0.8 of an inch, those numbers would all be much worse. The Saturday rain still looks like it's mostly going down to the south. We're getting some clouds. There's a chance here the north edge sneaks into our viewing area in the afternoon and evening. Probably not a big deal. We clear that out. Sunday looks great. Better of the 2 days over the weekend, but they're both pretty solid. Wednesday, Thursday next week, system going to the north. Notice, though, the pattern is getting busier. We're just missing out on some of these for the metro. That's where you look the bigger picture. Saturday system, Tuesday, Wednesday system, and then another one by the end of next week, and that could be the one that brings us some rain potential. And you can see how that spins up some snow on the backside. We'll watch to see if this can drop down into our area on Friday as well. So what you're seeing is the 10-day forecast have a little more activity to it. But the Saturday system misses us. We get the mild air. Probably a miss on Tuesday or Wednesday, but there's the spike ahead of that one where we get a chance to warm up. And I think by the end of next week, that's the one to watch for us that could start to change things up, bring some much needed rain, much needed snow. You know, everybody's got perspective on that one.
Yeah.
But I think that'll bring it into our really mild stretch.
Okay. The reality has to sink in eventually, right?
There somewhere.
All right. Oh, all right. We want to get to Jared because there is a huge crash. It's definitely going to impact the morning commute for many people here in the metro.
Yeah, Sarpy drivers, listen up because this is impacting you if you use Highway 370 to access I-80 because eastbound it is a parking lot as you're approaching this crash. This is right at the westbound entrance to I-80 where this crash is, and notice the red that extends all the way off of the graphic. That's nearly stopped traffic as you approach this. Here's the situation. This is the view from the Nebraska DOT camera, and you do have this crash right over on the right-hand side. You can see that scene still very active, and look at the delays that go all the way to the end of the sight line. That's as everyone tries to merge left in that area. Some people trying to get to that on-ramp. It is kind of a mess at this point, and it is impacting westbound as well because you have travelers that are trying to get to westbound I-80, and that ramp impacted with people trying to get over into that ramp. So there's the wider view of the situation. You can see the eastbound delays extend all the way to Highway 6 in Gretna. So very big backups. And my recommendation at this point is, I usually don't say this because sometimes things already get congested, but use Harrison to get to Giles to get to I-80 because that's going to take you forever to get through. And this is likely going to be slow right in that immediate vicinity of I-80, but that's going to be better than what you're looking at there on 370. That's likely going to be a scene that remains there for a little bit, and you're going to have those delays not really moving all that much. Notice the westbound that I mentioned as well, those delays extending almost to 144th. So this is easily the biggest problem that we have at this point. We zoom out to the rest of the map, and you can see that things are moving along pretty well on most other roads. Do watch for maybe a little bit of some sun glare eastbound. We did see that as an issue yesterday morning that impacted 370, but also I-80 near 84th, and Dodge had some pretty sizable delays around 168th back toward 192nd. So those are some spots I'll be watching as we continue to pick things up, but of course the focus is going to remain on that crash on 370 with those big delays that are there now and probably will be there for a little while.
All right. Sure, thank you very much. Back to news now. New this morning, Omaha police looking for tips to help them solve a bank robbery that happened in the metro. OPD says officers responded to the I-3 bank near 156th and Maple yesterday afternoon. Someone reportedly entered the bank, threatened an employee with a gun, and stole an undisclosed amount of money. This investigation is ongoing. Anybody with any information is urged to contact Omaha Crime Stoppers.
Happening today, Lincoln police say they will update their investigation into a missing Stromsburg couple and their unborn child. Unidentified human remains were found on a private property last Thursday in Saunders County. 2 people were arrested in the case. Sterling James, who was Roberto's half-brother, and his wife, Sadie Titus. James faces 2 murder charges as well as the murder of an unborn child. Titus is accused of accessory to murder and tampering with evidence. Well, Governor Pillen officially announcing a new statewide partnership with Turning Point USA.
He said the goal is to bring chapters of the conservative organization to high schools across the state. Now, TPUSA was founded by Charlie Kirk, who was assassinated while speaking at a college campus last year. The governor would not take any questions from the press. He did say the partnership is part of an effort to push for better discourse between students.
I hope that these young people here today inspire all of us to take a step further, to just stand up and say we can have good debate, we can talk, we can work through it. So our future of Nebraska and our future of our country is extraordinary because of our youth.
The governor's office says high schools are not required to have chapters. Students can fill out a form if they're interested in starting one. A field rep would then work with them to get the chapter recognized by the school.
All right, Erin, thank you. I'm at the safety desk with our Maria Cade, and a new study is looking at the food newborns and toddlers are eating. Maria, what is it suggesting?
Yeah, not some good news here. A clear majority of baby food, snacks, and drinks in the U.S. have those ultra-processed foods in them. So experts say that they might have additives that are unfortunately linked to some possible health issues down the line. So researchers looked at 651 foods. They said more than 70% of those had the additives that are connected to inflammation and disruptions in the gut microbiome. In a recent report, the CDC also found that most foods eaten by U.S. kids are ultra-processed, and previous studies have shown that eating those ultra-processed foods can lead to some major health issues. We talked about it a lot here at the safety desk, so not good to hear.
That's terrible news because so many parents rely on the baby food.
Absolutely.
All right. Maria Kate at the safety desk this morning. Maria, thank you, and we'll be right back.
All right, welcome back. Time now 7:14 early on this Wednesday morning. We have just been having this great streak of weather. It was a little bit cooler yesterday, but the good news is it gets a little bit warmer today and then kind of on that upward trend.
Yeah, and remember, as I show you some of these numbers, average high is about 37, 38. So we were 10 degrees above average yesterday. We're just going to keep climbing all the way into the weekend. The Almost Friday forecast. Great as we approach 60 degrees. More clouds Saturday, but right around 60 both Friday and Saturday. Sunday probably the best day with sunshine and 60s, likely to be the warmest again like it was last weekend. Temperatures right now around 20 degrees, so it is plenty cold as you start off the day. Notice some teens on the west edge of the map here. Every once in a while this Papillion, Bellevue, Glenwood area drops down into the teens as well, and you get outside the city and you can see 14 Columbus and Norfolk, so none of these numbers are warm. But it is going to be warm enough, dry enough to go get the car washed today. 52 degrees for the high. It's a go for it in the car wash forecast. And nothing really going to get in the way. And by 3, 4 o'clock, that's when we top out in the 50s. And then we'll fall back through the course of the evening as, well, a couple little sprinkles. So if you get the car washed, find a garage spot for it, as there could be a couple of these drift through the area. Nothing all that widespread or heavy, but overnight while you're sleeping, a little system passes by. Most of it goes to our north, probably doesn't cause any issues. By 7 o'clock in the morning, most of it's out of here on Thursday, and then we'll see the clouds decrease over the course of the day. So a little stripe of some moisture just passing by in our northern counties. Barely even registers a couple hundredths of an inch if you get any at all. Doubt it causes any slick spots. 56 then for the high on Thursday, 59 on Friday. The next chance of rain, albeit pretty small there too, it would be Saturday. During the course of probably the afternoon. This moisture here stays to the west. Most of it's down to the south on Saturday. You can see a couple sprinkles late in the afternoon into the evening working their way through. And what will happen is those may put a few drops in some places. We're talking very minimal amounts out of that one too. Then 64 for the high on Sunday. Like I mentioned, that's the warmest of the weekend, warmest over this 5 days. So both days, well, pretty good. Sunday probably the better of the two.
Yeah, the temperatures keep going, getting better and better. How far will it go up, and how long? How long is this warm streak going to last?
I tell you what, you think at some point, okay, that was a fun stretch. We got to 75 on Monday, but we could do it all over again early next week. And we are trending in a big way that direction. 67 Monday, 69 on Tuesday, and then some cooler air and the rain chances by the end of next week that we'll watch for that I talked about a little earlier. 67 of note on Monday, that would tie the record high set back in 2017, so it hasn't been around all that long, but another mild Monday ahead the way it looks, all a matter of whether we break the record. Now, the record on Tuesday is 75, so we're trending up in a big way. Not quite there yet. If we get into the 70s, we'll make a special little graphic for that too, and we'll keep an eye on that one. And but again, maybe at least one, maybe two records in play next week.
You know what he did when you said 60?
That was 6-7.
He did that.
I kind of hated it, but I did it.
All right, talking about the traffic impacts this morning. Seeing some stuff behind you. How's it going?
Let's revisit that 370. Yeah. So maybe you're just tuning in. It's a crash eastbound as you're getting right near I-80, trying to get to westbound I-80. Now, there you can see the flashing lights as that situation continues to evolve. The new bit here is we have a tow truck on the scene, and it is lifting some of these vehicles out of the way. So here's that with what's going on. So that gives me some hope that we could clear this pretty soon and start to improve things, because as you look here in the distance, look what's happening as you're going in this direction. That's a big parking lot that is in place eastbound on 370, and that's meaning that we're going to be dealing with the traffic trying to filter through here for quite some time. So right lane does remain blocked at this point. This is right at the entrance to westbound I-80, and you can see those delays extend all the way to Gretna. Highway 6 is where you see that start to improve. So even when that clears, you've got to get all this traffic to get through this. So that will probably take about 10-15 minutes once that does end up clearing. So my recommendation here this morning, if you're trying to think about how to handle this one, let's look at how things are moving here right near the Harrison and Giles entrance to I-80. You can see it's a little slow, but it's moving in so much better shape than what you have going on there at 370. You may want to use Harrison to head eastbound, get to Giles, enter I-80 there, and that'll help you along this morning. Continue to keep you posted on the latest with that. 144th, a little slow as you're heading southbound right near I-80. Otherwise, we're moving along in pretty good shape for much of the rest of the metro. It's really all about that one crash that's causing the problems.
That's bad. All right, Jared, thank you. Turning now to your Blue Jays extra coverage this morning. Happening today, Creighton men's basketball hits the road to take on DePaul.
Now, the Jays have faced adversity both on and off the court so far, but head coach Greg McDermott says he is proud of how his team has stayed together. Tip-off from Chicago is at 8. You can catch all the action on the game on Peacock. Still ahead, NBC celebrating record-breaking numbers.
We'll reveal the program that pulled in unprecedented viewership when we come back.
Happening today, Seattle Seahawks will celebrate their victory over the Patriots in Super Bowl 60 with, of course, a parade.
Yes, it's just the team's second Super Bowl win in their 50-year franchise history. The Seahawks also won Super Bowl 48 against the Denver Broncos. That was back in 2014. So the city of Seattle is estimating between 750,000 and 1 million fans will line the parade route, no doubt.
Be good for Seattle.
New this morning, NBC says the Super Bowl was the most watched program in the network's century on air.
Wow.
Nielsen reports nearly 125 million viewers.
Wow, that's the second highest rating of any show in U.S. history, only behind last year's Super Bowl. The viewership for Bad Bunny's halftime show tops both games.
Wow.
Nielsen says it garnered more than 128 million watchers. That's compared to a peak of 6 million people tuning in to Turning Point USA's conservative alternative on YouTube. So definitely got some people watching for sure for NBC.
I think you look at the top 10, it might be even top 20 list now, like of the most watched shows of all time. The vast majority of them are Super Bowls. I think like the season finale of MASH and the season finale of Cheers might be on the list. Otherwise, yeah, it's all Super Bowls just like that. It's
People
incredible.
say they weren't excited about this matchup, but a Super Bowl is a Super Bowl, right?
Numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie.
Is that for NBC, by the way, those two shows? Or is that just in general?
In general, of all
Yeah,
time.
obviously like Seinfeld, the season finale of
I think
series
that
finale.
was on in the top 20 yet. But
Yeah.
yeah, I would say 75 to 80% of them are Super Bowls in all-time recorded history.
Interesting.
All of us watched, right?
Yep.
Okay. See, there you go.
Passively or actively watching, yes.
Either way. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming or over the air.
Have a great start to your Wednesday.
Live from WOWT, First Alert 6 starts now.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. It's time for an update on the roads this morning. Here's Jarrett Lansford.
And the biggest story has been our crash on eastbound 370 that's blocking the right lane at I-80 at the on-ramp to westbound I-80. We do have a tow truck that's on the scene. You can see it is still an active scene. The right lane remains blocked. It's unclear just how long this will remain the case, but you could see all the way to the edge of the sight line of the camera, it's a parking lot. So we've got plenty of vehicles that still need to filter through this. All the way back to Gretna, 370 is stop and go. So might consider using Harrison to get to Giles to get to I-80 this morning as an alternate route as you try to work your way around that situation. Elsewhere in the metro, we're actually moving along pretty well. It's all about that issue there on 370 early this morning. Rusty.
Thanks, Jared. Temperatures are cold this morning as they're working that scene, right around 20 degrees. So all the afternoon warmth gets the attention, but we're right around 20 to start off. Beautiful sunrise. High clouds passing over. Will gradually fill up today, but 21 out the door. It'll be late in the day before the clouds really filter in. A lot of these will be chewed up by the dry air around. So overall, we get a pretty good day. Got to 48 yesterday. We'll go 52 this afternoon with those high clouds moving in. So a quick warm up ahead, and the warming trend continues all week.
Omaha police looking to solve a bank robbery. Officers responding to the I-3 bank near 156th and Maple yesterday. They say somebody entered the bank, threatened an employee with a gun, and then stole money.
Well, it is 7:28. We are back with another update for you in about 25 minutes. We'll see you then.